The crochet method is totally the same, though. I've tossed the pattern chart right down in the comments too. First things first, tie a slip knot. Now, this knot doesn't count as an actual stitch. Chain 2 stitches. And then, that wraps up the very first round. Here's your turning chain. Work 2 single crochets right into that stitch, meaning you're doing a single crochet increase right here. Alright, from here on out, we're working flat rows. Chain 1, turn your work. Moving on to row 3. Work 1 single crochet in the first stitch. Into the second stitch. Work a single crochet increase. Now for this round hooks. Once this row is finished, chain 1, turn and keep going flat. Row 3. Wait, we're on row 4 now. 1 single crochet. 1 single crochet increase. And another single crochet. See that? The triangle shape is already taking form. Once you finish up round 4, after finishing row 4, do a turning chain. Then flip it back around. Flipping it over brings us to row 5. Work a single crochet increase, followed by 3 single crochets. 2, 3, done. Once row 5 is done, chain 1 more stitch. Basically, whenever you wrap up a row, you always need to chain 1 for the next row. For row 6, start with 2 single crochets, then work a single crochet increase, and finish with 2 more single crochets. Honestly, it works just like circular crocheting, except we're going back and forth in flat rows. The underlying rule for increases stays exactly the same. Alright, chain 1, turn your work. For round 7, begin with 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next up, work a single crochet, increase, chain 1, and from here, you can pretty much follow the chart on your own and cruise right along with the pattern. For round 8, start with 3 single crochets. Then work an increase, a single crochet increase, and then 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, and there you go. I'll skip repeating the steps from here on out. Just follow the chart and finish the rest by yourself. Keep going all the way up to 12 rounds or 22 rows. Once you finish row 12, chain 1 and flip your piece over. For rows 13 through 15, work 12 single crochets with no increases or decreases. Got it? Just crochet on your own. Now, because this silver thread yarn is, because it is quite a stiff structure, it can feel a little sticky and rough while working. After you finish row 15, moving on to row 16. Chain 1 again and flip your work. Past row 16, we're going to start working some decreases. First, work 5 single crochets. 1, 3, 4, 5. Alright, once those 5 single crochets are done, do a decrease. Since this yarn isn't very stretchy, it's kind of tough to hook through. Hey, you can use this trick for decreasing if you're working with this kind of yarn too. Basically, pull up a loop then pull up another loop, and then pull through everything to decrease. Using this method makes it a bit easier. Then, work another 5 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn your piece. Next up, row 17. Start by working 9 single crochets. Four, 5, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, 9, and then work a decrease on the final 2 stitches. Chain 1 and flip your work. Alright, 4. Row 18. Work the single crochets. 3, 4, then do a decrease right in the middle. Just decrease like this, see? Keep it simple. Then work for more single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Alright, moving on. For rows 19 through 27, just keep decreasing following the pattern on your own. Also, I've already put the pattern chart up on the screen. Once you finish this middle section, it ends up looking like this shape. We need to crochet to pieces for this upper part. First things first, make a magic ring. Work 6 single crochets into it. Now, you need to be pretty comfortable with magic rings. 1, 2, 3. Then pull the loop tight. Pay attention here. Usually with a magic ring, once you pull it tight, you slip stitch to join, right? But for this project, since the bag is made of flat rows, we skip the slip stitch. Instead, just pull the loop tight and chain 1 directly. Flip it over, since I started with 6 stitches. I'll just keep going right over those 6 stitches, and work 6 single crochets. Alright, first stitch. Second stitch. Third stitch. Oh, this spot can be a bit tricky. Once you get past this part, the rest is smooth sailing. Third stitch, fourth stitch, fifth stitch. If you want your bag to feel firmer and sturdier, just keep your tension nice and tight. And the last one, the sixth stitch. See, I crochet so tight I can barely pull the hook through. There we go. Now chain 1 more. Flip it and keep working flat like this. Now, for the third row, we need to work 1 single crochet, followed by a single crochet increase. Since we had 6 stitches just now, that's 2 stitches per set, making 3 sets in total. Go ahead and crochet 1 single crochet, and an increase to finish this part first. This bit is pretty straightforward. Just a single crochet, then a single crochet increase. Repeating that all the way across. After finishing this row, chain 1 more stitch. Right, turning means that every single time you start a new row, you need to chain 1. So now I've got 9 stitches. Next up, using these 9 stitches, with no increases or decreases, work 9 single crochets. Once row 4 is done, chain 1, turn your piece, and move on to row 5. For row 5, start with a single crochet increase. Then work 2 single crochets. Now, this pattern, takes up 3 stitches total. Since we had 9 stitches right above, that gives us 3 repeating sets. 1 increase, followed by 2 single crochets. Go ahead and finish this row on your own. After finishing row 5, chain 1. For row 6, work 12 single crochets straight around with no increases or decreases. That makes 12 stitches total. I'll skip demonstrating rows 7 through 12. I'll put the pattern chart right up on the screen. The crochet technique is basically the same, but the charts differ as you go. You can just crochet it yourself from there. Once you've finished making the fan-shaped piece, it ends up taking this shape. Now, make sure you don't cut the yarn yet. Keep that working yarn attached. Next, we need to join this piece to the middle section by sewing it right here. You could use a regular tapestry needle to sew them together if you prefer, or you can just crochet them together directly. Personally, I'm going to use the crochet hook to join them. As for the middle piece itself, you can go ahead and cut that yarn now. Then rip in the tail to hide it. Now, taking this fan-shaped piece, the edge of the fan matches up right here. With the exact same stitch count, you can start aligning and joining them from this point. Look, try it out first to see if the lengths match up properly. Since my yarn tail is right over here, that's where I'll begin. Yep. Go ahead and match stitch for stitch, lining up every single stitch carefully. Pull the yarn through from here and work a stitch. Match each stitch to the corresponding stitch, working 1 stitch at a time. Now, while you're working along, since the edge on this inner side can be a bit hard to see clearly, sometimes the stitches aren't super obvious. So as you hook through, just pull and check to keep everything aligned as you go. When you're joining these edges, you could also use a standard granny square joining method if you like. But for me, I'm taking the lazy route with this technique. I find this way much easier, so I'm sticking with it. Look at that. As long as you poke through every stitch, you'll be right on track. Once you've finished sewing it up, it looks like this. Yep, right like this. Once you've joined one fan piece to the center, piece like this, you'll need to knit another fan piece and sew it onto this side as well. All done. Now, as for this side, I've already tucked away all the yarn tails. That makes it look way cleaner. Next up, we need to join it. To this side, just sew it however you prefer. You can use a tapestry needle or crochet stitches. Personally, I'm just crocheting straight across. See, I hook right into the top edge and pull this strand straight through. Right, and then you just go ahead and start crocheting. Once you pull that top loop through, chain 1 and you're good to go. Alright, this side is all joined up too. Look at that! The bag is really starting to take shape now. From here, without cutting the yarn, I'm going to work around right along the edge of the bag. I'm doing reverse single crochets all around the border to give the edge a much nicer finished look. Once you've finished working the reverse single crochets all the way around the rim, the edge looks so much better. Next, snip the yarn, pull the end all the way through, and neatly whip that tail into the inside. Now, moving on. If you want to install a small zipper, you can just sew one right across here. But if you'd rather use a button closure, you'll need to crochet a little flap for the bag. How do you crochet the flap? You start right in the absolute center. By casting on 6 stitches from this spot. Yep, right around this area. Go ahead and attach a new strand of yarn. And start working. First, do a chain stitch, then work 1 stitch. Making 6 stitches total. You can poke your hook into pretty much any spot around there, as long as you end up with 6 stitches. We'll weave in this loose tail, nicely later on. Then, that's 1. 2 stitches, right? Then 3 stitches here. For stitches, keeping both sides nice and symmetrical. Six stitches total, so it balances out evenly on both sides. Next, do a turning chain. And just crochet back and forth like that. Work those 6 stitches back and forth. Once you've crocheted back and forth for 8 rows, we need to make a little buttonhole. Start with a single crochet, then work the chain stitches. Skip 1, 2, 3 for stitches, and in the final stitch, work a single crochet. There you go, that forms a loop for your button. Chain 1, and then work 2 more rows of single crochets. 1. Right here, you basically just need to work the stitches right inside the loop. 2, 3, 4, right. Wrap up with a quick single crochet right here. Oh. Flip it over. Work 1 extra row. Yep. 2, 3, Alright, once that's set, after that, fold the bag over. Exactly, then. Sew a button on. Attach a strap next. And your bag is all done. Love it, share it around.